Listen, I'm gonna go against the grain on this video. While everyone's out here trying to tell you to go get an extra bag outside of what you're doing and do side hustles, crypto, go flip this stuff on eBay, I'm gonna go against that and give you guys the real look at what you should do first. Because here's the truth, focusing on all these extra side hustles and trying to make more money is actually gonna lead you down a path of losing more money faster if you don't have your foundation in place. And I'm not telling you to build income streams. I'm just telling you what you need to hear in this day and age of social media. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Hunter Franklin, and I'm sharing my journey of my creative marketing agency and my growth from picking up a $500 camera, now running a multi-7-figure marketing agency with almost 20 employees, also having other revenue streams, and building a life of freedom and giving glory to God in everything. One of the things I like to do is to teach financial stuff, especially to people around my age or even younger or older, and to people who are just ignorant to the fact of what finances really are, or maybe they weren't taught. Trust me, my parents, they came from nothing. My mom used to pick strawberries for like a quarter per quart to save up to buy her own bicycle. My parents worked hard, but they taught me the foundations. I didn't come from a trust fund. I've been able to save up and do things from a young age because they helped me understand it from a young age, and that's what I want to do here on this channel. So here's what I see wrong with most people. They actually start making more money, or they get a bonus or something, and then they still realize maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks later, they're like, where'd all this money go? They're still hemorrhaging money. And these leaks are everywhere. There are subscriptions you've been paying for. The habits of maybe going to a coffee shop and buying breakfast stuff every single day adds up. Or maybe you're going out way too much. And because there's no system in place, you don't even see it happening. The foundation isn't even there. And here's what gets me, is that the fact that someone will chase making an extra $500, $1,000 a month for months without honing in on what they already have and actually making it go further. And that's exactly what we're gonna fix today. When I started getting serious about it, my dad actually forced me to. I had a paper and a pencil, and I wrote down what I made and what went out the door when I first started making paracord survival bracelets. I had to write down what I ordered on the internet. I wrote down all my orders people gave me, and I crossed it out and I tracked it all. And I also, at the same time, I had a percentage that I would give away in support to the military. Then I upgraded to a Google Sheet, and I still live or die by Google Sheets, even though I have some fancy apps, and there's a tool I'll share with you here in a bit. I had, as early as probably junior high and going into high school, a Google Sheet that basically tracked everything that I made. I'm talking every piece of income that came into my name and my bank accounts was tracked. And there were columns that automatically told me what I needed to tithe, save, and invest. I know for a fact it was 10% tithe. The rest, I think it was like 20% saving, 20% investing, and the rest went to expenses. It actually might have been more saving or investing. I was heavy on investing, maybe it was 30 or 40%. I was living at the home. I was in junior high, going into high school, and even college. I went to college for free at a junior college, and I stayed at home to save money and to be able to invest more, to get myself ahead in life. So let's just say it was 50, it was 20, 20, and 10. That is 50% right there that literally already had a job before I even touched it. It already had a place of where it was gonna go. I'm talking money that I made from mowing, money that I made from selling t-shirts at the time. When I started doing photography, every family photo shoot, every senior photo shoot, it was in this sheet and it tracked it. And then I had a little dashboard, my bank accounts over time, my investment accounts over time, so I could see it grow. That sheet helped me see my money clearly. And once you start seeing it yourself, you'll start making different decisions. Once you start seeing, hey, every month I'm spending how much on coffee, I could get a coffee maker and save that in 3 months from the price of the coffee machine. And again, some of this might relate to you, some of this might not be relatable to you, okay? Let's say someone who spends a lot more money going out to eat, $1,000 a month getting cocktails. I know people that do that. They get drinks all the time. They drink out. I guarantee you, I have people that you and I both know, they're spending $700, $1,000, maybe more on restaurants and cocktails and drinks every month when that could be going somewhere else. They're trying to make an extra little bit every month when they could cut back on certain areas. And maybe you don't want to cut back on that, so we'll get into it. Here's why budgeting equals making more money. When your money has a plan, it's going to be working for you and not against you. So right here, I have an example. If you're spending $300 a month on things you don't actually value, and you'd redirect that into an investment account, at even a modest return over 10 years, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. That's not hustle money, that's just paying attention money. And that's only $300. For most people, okay? I think budgeting is one of the highest ROIs someone could be doing. And again, this is for the masses. There are examples of friends I know who didn't budget a thing. They don't watch any of their expenses. They are just straight up dogs in entrepreneur world. They don't care really what stuff costs, and they didn't really save any money. They put it all back into the business. That is the 1% or less of people. And here's the bigger unlock. Every dollar you invest and save, it starts to compound over time. That is one of the biggest levers. I've been able to see it compound like crazy over the past 5 years alone, let alone 10 years when I had a small little mutual fund. Whether you like Dave Ramsey or not, they have helped generate more millionaires than probably anyone else in the fact of the processes of what they're doing. And I'm not gonna really go into those philosophies in this moment, but what I'm trying to get at, it's the foundations you set that repeatedly over time get you to where you wanna be later on in life. All right, so I lived in Google Sheets a bit, and I actually still do for a lot of stuff, especially forecasting. There's a lot of new technologies in AI where I'm moving stuff to dashboards that's way better. I started using this tool that my friend shared with me called Monarch or Monarch Money or whatever, and I'm gonna have a link below. I probably will get, I don't know, a free month, or you'll get a discount or whatever. I don't really know what it is. I'm not affiliated with them, but I do wanna share it, but just putting that out there. And I wanna tell you, it's genuinely helped, and it's actually helped my wife more than anything. She was not the one to do any of this stuff either. So setting her up on that where she could see everything, help mark the transactions, put it into categories, and you set rules and stuff like that, it has helped us tremendously. I love it because it helps you see what you're spending in real time. You don't have to manually do the whole, Google Sheet thing and all that fun stuff. So you're seeing a live dashboard, and you can gamify it. You can set goals and you can see where you're getting. And even right now it says like, hey, you're behind in this one area, you're ahead in this area. There are other great platforms if you already use them. I know there's EveryDollar. There's literally probably 1,000 budgeting apps or online platforms you could use, or even use AI if you already have Claude or ChatGPT and you just tell it, hey, I want to connect and do all these things. But I recommend using one of these platforms. I want to put it in your brain just to please pick something and stick to it. 3-step framework right here. I'm going to read to you. I'll have it pop up on the screen as well. And here's exactly what I want you to walk through today. Three steps. Okay, let's break it down. Step 1, I want you to know your numbers. What's coming in every month, what's going out. Pull your last 3 months of bank statements and actually look. Most people haven't done this, it's uncomfortable, do it anyway. And again, if you're using one of these budgeting apps, go through the past couple months, feed it your transactions, set rules. And what do I mean by set rules? Let's say Shopify is Shopify transaction. Every month it's gonna be the same if you have that subscription. It will show that to you. Or if you have something that you spend at, you always go to Whole Foods, you know that's always gonna be groceries. So you can set that into your grocery stuff in a rule. So it'll go back through your 12 months or whatever and automatically flag those for you. It's actually sickening if you go back to lifelong history. It can pull all the way back and you can see, and you'll be sick at some of the things you spent money on. You're like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Step 2 is gonna be to build your breakdown of your finances. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different. Some people don't tithe, that's okay, all right? I recommend you do at least some sort of giving because it opens you up to gratitude, opens you up to a process of just giving and being kind. I understand some people are not in a position to be able to give. They need to get other things in order. There can also be other argument to that. I've also, for example, have had pauses where, quite frankly, I'm being open and honest on this channel where there were months where my wife and I didn't do anything with our money and be giving. There are other times where we went above and beyond, okay? But I think having a structure is one of the most important things you can do. Give every dollar a job before you spend it. You don't have to copy my percentages exactly, but having a version of this is good. And that structure alone will change things in your life. And for most of you, I would say the amount of people, the percentage is huge of credit card debt. So that should be in there going towards that because you should be paying off those high interest debts before you're saving. Now, if you do have something with your work where it's like a deadline and you're literally getting free money, there might be an argument to putting that there, whether it's a 401k or your deadline for the Roth IRA or things like that. That's another conversation. Number 3 is track everything. You need to track everything. I'm talking, you need to categorize your trips to the market to get a soda. You need to categorize everything because if you're getting into a spot and a habit of this, you'll track everything. There will be a day where those smaller transactions will not matter. I'm just being, again, honest with you. My wife and I, when we go to certain places, the menu, the price of what we want doesn't matter. We're just gonna get it. But that's because it's taken a decade of foundations of what we set up to get to where we are now. Start there, get your foundation solid, get in a spot where you don't have that debt, and then you can maybe go spend that extra time now once everything's ready to maybe go chase more money, to level up, because now you'll actually keep it. And when you go make that extra money, if you have this side hustle, maybe making UGC content or social media stuff, that is gonna be a lot of extra money, or use it for other things. For some people, these processes are gonna take a couple of months because they need to get to a point where things are paid off. Some people are gonna realize very quickly they can just stop stuff right away. I guarantee you most of you are gonna save money, so this video is making you money. Some examples of what I cut out and what I watched whenever I started all these processes, and even to now, would be setting budgets on fun stuff. Like I used to play video games a lot. I would allow maybe a new video game every quarter or whatever. And I know that sounds silly, but hey, you know what? I was trying to also quit video games. There was a period where I was addicted to video games. So I actually started playing free versions of video games, and I would never buy any of the skins or anything because I knew that was kind of a waste, and I just was logging on to have fun. And then I would say another example at the time when I was obviously living with my parents was I really loved investing, and I was following it during COVID. Everything was going up like crazy. I was trying to shove a bunch in there when the huge dip happened. And that's another thing, is when you set yourself up for success and you have cash on the sidelines, when a crazy opportunity comes up like that, you really want to be able to act upon it. And just like this home that we have, we were saving up for a home, and thankfully we were, and thankfully I had investments that had gone way up. Now, did I have to pay taxes on that? Yes, but to get this home, we had to put, a certain percentage down. But I wouldn't have had any of that without the foundations of freaking years and years and years. I was so frugal, and I would still say to today I'm frugal. I'm a little less now. My wife is definitely less frugal, so there's definitely a balance there, but we still have systems in place, and we know at the end of the day we're gonna be okay. Another reason I say that is because we have a very strict budget section in Monarch, then we have a flexible section. So let's say the flexible section is $3,000. That can be split up between a lot of different things. So $3,000 for a month of flexibility spend. That could be like, hey, 1 month tax bills are taking up that whole thing because it's tax season, so we don't have an extra. Or maybe that month we don't have a lot coming out. We don't have insurance coming out that month. Car insurance comes out every 6 months. So that's like a good thing of like, hey, every 6 months we know it's coming out. But it could be like, hey, we can actually spend extra money. Or hey, this month is the time for us to book our Europe trips for the year because we know we have that flexible budget in there and we don't have any other big expenses coming out. And again, I know this isn't the flashiest topic. This probably won't even go big on YouTube because these are not flashy topics. But I know for the 10, 20, 50, 100 people that might watch this, this is going to help someone, and it's going to help people more than they know. And I don't share this a lot, but I do get so many DMs, and more often than not, people ask me about the nuances. I feel like the parents of a lot of our generation have let kids down and school system on letting kids down on the basics of your finances. Even if you work minimum wage, you can theoretically get ahead than most people if you do it right. Now, it's not going to be fun, and I understand the argument of how expensive everything is. That is why, hey, you actually might need to work overtime. You might need to do XYZ to make more money. But I need you to just understand the fact of you need to have these foundations in place and know what you can and can't do. Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else so you can live like no one else. There's certain things that you just can't do at certain times, and there's certain things you can't buy in certain periods or seasons of your life because of where you're at, and that's okay. You're gonna level up. You're gonna get there. And if this resonated with you, please share it with someone else who you think it might resonate with. I read every comment, try to read every DM that comes through. So if there's any other thing or topic you want me to cover, please put it in the description or the comment section. And that link to Monarch will be in the description as well. Thanks for being here. Please subscribe, like, give me feedback. I appreciate all of it. And I hope you have a blessed day.